Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Wrong About Sports. I am sick as a dog, but still a happy Bears fan, Ryan McDaniel.
And I'm starting to think that 2026 is the Vikings year. Vikings fan, Carla Bigham, and we are
Wrong
wrong
About
about
Sports.
sports. Hey, it's a New Year's resolution, Brian. So,
Yeah,
hey,
no,
speaking of New Year's, first Happy New Year's, and I
Happy
hope
New
if
Year.
you partook in any tasty beverages over the celebration into the new year. Good riddance, 2025. It was from a Minnesota Licensed Beverage Association retailer.
Well, you know for sure that I did, and it was
Mhm, mhm,
since 1952. The
mhm.
Minnesota Licensed Beverage Association has been helping licensed beverage retailers in the state of Minnesota with information resources, educational programs, and government affairs services designed to promote and protect their businesses. All of their member retailers understand that with the MLBA, they are not alone.
Well, we thank them for their sponsorship for this year too.
Absolutely.
Um, okay, so we're going into the last week. Some big games, some not big games. But let's start with the NFC North. Vikings do not have a big game. All right, so let's go to the Bears.
Yeah, so the Vikings play the Packers. Packers are locked into the 7th seed,
Yeah.
so whatever happens, happens. You're gonna see a lot of backups, I'm sure, for the Packers. But the Bears play the Lions with a little bit to play for. The
Yeah.
Bears are currently the number 2 seed. They're tied record-wise with Philadelphia Eagles, but they have the tiebreaker on the Eagles. So if the Bears win and the Eagles lose,
Mhm.
well, the Bears are the number 2 seed and they play the
Yep.
Packers. If the Bears win and the Eagles win, the Bears are the number 2 seed. If the Bears lose and the Eagles win, then they'll flip flop. And I think the Bears would play either one of the AFC West teams. That's still
Yeah.
NFC West teams. That still remains to be determined by the play this week.
Yeah.
But so the Bears have something to play for. The Lions don't, other than pride. But also Caleb Williams, and I'll get to this later on in our prop bets. But Caleb Williams is only 270 yards away from having the Chicago Bears single season passing record of 4,000 yards, which is sad because the Bears, even though they are one of the oldest teams, and Papa Bear Hallis invented the league, the Bears are the only team who's never had a 4,000 yard rusher. I'm sorry, 4,000 yard passer. So 270 yards. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's
Hmm.
doable, but we'll see if they leave Caleb in long enough to do it. But he only needs like 103 yards to have the pass Eric Kramer. That's a good trivia question to answer because people forget that Eric Kramer, one, was a Chicago Bear, and two, was pretty good.
Yeah.
But Eric Kramer, he'll pass Eric Kramer for the most yards in a season, even though it is under 4,000. So
Yeah.
Bears fans we're kind of interested in that because we're tired of hearing that stat that we don't have a
Right.
4,000 yard passer. So, but
Well, also,
that's the big news there.
I also think to your point that the Bears may have some sort of record about how many quarterbacks they've had starting for, like in the last 20 years or something. They may be one of the top teams that has the most changed out
Yeah,
quarterbacks that are starting anyway, that are
th-
starting. But
probably the Bears and Browns.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think that there's a lot to play for, and we will talk about this in the prop plays coming up. But Caleb's going to want to set records, but as long as he's not getting hit and getting beat up, and the Packers are playing their backup. Is it Turner? Something like I forget his last name. Turner.
Clayton Tune, I think is his
Toon.
name.
Okay,
Yeah.
Toon is starting again, even though Jordan Love has been practicing all week. But as you said, they're going to be preserving their players because they're locked into that 7th seed, and it is what it is for them. And the Packers are going to pack, and that's a positive thing. When we say the Bears going to Bear, Vikings going to Vikings, Lions going to Lion, that's not a positive thing. When we say the Packers going to pack, yeah, they're going to pack. And so seventh, they're I mean they're just not healthy, and so I think that's kind of an issue going forward with them. But you know, we'll talk a little bit more about that as the playoffs progress. But we do have some big games that determine the seeds. As of right now, in the NFC, you have Seattle in first place. This is going into this week.
Yep.
San Fran 2, Carolina 3, Rams. I'm sorry, Carolina 4, Rams 6. And hold on, I really jacked this up. Seattle 1, San Francisco 5. This is
5.
the bracket of who they play. So that's Carolina is 4. Then you got the Rams that are 6, Eagles that are 3. As we said, Packers 7, and Bears 2. And they will play each other if things settle this way after this weekend. And so you have the Saturday night's main event this week is the Seattle Seahawks at 49ers. And winner gets to go into the playoffs and as the number one seed,
Number one
home,
seed.
home field advantage. And if it's 49ers, remember that is where the Super Bowl is played at their home stadium. And then, you know, both teams are in the playoffs, but you go into the playoffs with the number one seed and a bye. So you get to rest people. So that's a big game. And we'll talk a little bit more too about a really big prop play for Seattle's Sam Darnold coming up. But Brock Purdy looked great against against the Bears, and their defense, San Fran's defense, did allow Williams to have quite a game, and so it'll be interesting to see how they play against Sam Darnold, who we know chokes. Okay, as a
Yep.
Vikings fan, we know he chokes. But you know, uh, growth means accountability, and so let's hope that he um, that he's learned. Anyway, that's a big game.
Do we know, is that game in San Francisco or is it in
Yes,
Seattle? It's in San
yep.
Francisco. Okay.
In San Francisco.
I kind of think San Francisco is going to win that game. I
Yeah,
think that they're playing. They got hot right at the right time, and I think that they're going to win that game and get the number one seed.
yeah. And then the other kind of big NFC game, at least that I'm thinking of, Brian. You may have other ones too, but the Panthers versus the Bucks. That winner gets into the playoffs. Loser goes to Cancun. So
Yeah.
so as the kids say. So there's a lot to play for. And Bucks have struggled. But they don't underestimate Baker Mayfield and the run game that they potentially have. They have quite a few weapons in that run game, and also, it's a home game. So let's see. It's against a rival, the Panthers. So let's see what that might be. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I think definitely the Buccaneers are the better team, though they haven't been playing like it.
Yeah.
I want the I want the Panthers to win because Panthers right now are 8-8. So if
Yeah.
they win, they'll be 9-8. I don't think you should make the playoffs if you're under 500. And if the Buccaneers win, they would be 8-9, win the division, and I just don't like that. So
Right. Right. So I hear you. But that is kind of a weird division down there. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and you got the Saints who all of a sudden got a spark the last like 3 weeks, but never. It was too
uh,
late. Too late.
yeah. Too
So,
little, too late.
what about some AFC games, Brian, that
Well,
people should be looking at?
I think the biggest one, obviously, is Ravens Steelers.
Hmm.
Whoever wins that game will win the AFC North.
Hmm.
Um, the Steelers are limping right now, and the Ravens look pretty good, even though they haven't had Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's making it sound like he'll be able to play this week, which would definitely give them even more of an
Right.
advantage. But I think that even though I can't remember exactly what their record was, but I know that the Ravens started off really poorly, but they've made it all the way back, and our good friend Aaron Rodgers is playing just crappy enough to let them back in. So
Yeah, and he's a man that's broken both of our hearts a few times through the years.
yeah,
Um, and I think you never underestimate
yeah.
A-Rod, and never, 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 never. So that will be a good game too, and that's Sunday night. So you got a good Saturday night and a good Sunday night ahead of you for football. The other one that I kind of thought were the Titans and Jaguars. The reason why this is kind of interesting is Jaguars need to win to be to win the AFC South. They're kind of fighting for Houston, so both Jacksonville and Houston will both be in the playoffs, but it's just a matter of seeds, and Jacksonville does have a shot. At it takes a little bit of praying and luck, but I think I believe if the Colts and if I'm sorry, if Houston is another team that is vying to move up in the rankings. And that would be if the Colts and Jaguars both lose. They're playing for something too this week against the Colts, I believe. So,
Yeah, now the Jaguars are supposed to play the Chargers, and I think the
mhm.
Chargers are going to sit most of their starters, so that definitely will help Jacksonville.
Yeah,
But Jacksonville's been hot. I mean, I would say they are, if not the Patriots, I would say the Jaguars are definitely the hottest AFC team, though Houston's really putting it together as well.
yeah. And I think, yeah, this Sunday, Titans at Jacksonville this week.
Okay. Oh
And,
no, I'm sorry.
and,
I was looking at the seeds. Said
oh, yeah,
playoff
yeah.
seeds. That's my
Yeah,
fault.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And so but it's Titans can play spoiler here. And so I think that's also going to be I think a game worth watching, and that's just Sunday during the day, but um what other AFC games or NFC games do you think are intriguing for viewers?
Well, as I said earlier, Philadelphia has something to
Mhm.
play for. They're playing the Washington
Commanders.
Commanders. Commanders are terrible. Eagles are, I don't know, they keep winning. They don't seem to be good at it, but
Yeah.
they keep winning. But anytime that you have a division game, anything can happen because there's
Mhm.
pride on the line. I mean, the Eagles are probably going to win, but like last week, they won, and Jalen Hurts did not complete a pass in the second half.
Yeah.
It's bananas, but that's another game. I'll be keeping an eye on that because it impacts the Bears.
Yeah. And also, one thing that I think people should keep in mind this week when it comes to who's starting, what prop plays you're making, and just what trash talking you're doing is there's a lot of players playing for some huge incentives. And you mentioned the Commanders, and one player that needs 93 yards to get a substantial pay out is Debo. So Debo needs 93 yards, and he gets a nice payday. And so I think that's where I talk about you could have spoilers in some of these games. And they're playing for, individual players are playing for something even if their team isn't in the playoffs. So I just tell people keep that kind of stuff in mind when you're making your prop bets and trash talking this weekend. So
Yeah, well, I think for Debo, they're on their third string quarterback there with
mhm.
Josh Johnson.
Uh,
So we'll see if he can get 93 yards total, but they'll probably be feeding Debo pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, let do you want to talk a little bit about prop plays this week now?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, speaking of incentives, Sam Darnold needs 150 yards to passing to get $500,000 bonus. So, the 49ers did allow Caleb Williams to just throw for over 300 yards last week against them. And uh, you know, I think Darnold wants that half a milli. And, and so I think he's lighting it up this week, or he's gonna really get beat up trying. And so I have Sam Darnold with the over on 237.5 passing yards. Also, side note, he gets another half a milli if he throws 3 touchdowns, because that's his next little benchmark in his bonus. So, dude could get $1 million if he throws for over 150 yards and 3 tutties. Just saying, might have a day.
Yeah.
The other one that we talked a little bit, we talked about the game, and I did try to kind of focus on games that we mentioned here. A running back for the Panthers, Rico Dowd, is just 7 yards away from $1 million. I think I think he's not going to be going hungry, right? I think he's going to probably get his 7 yards. And he also, if he gets a touchdown, it's another quarter mil. It's another 250,000. So I'm going with Dowd. Actually, though, I'm going to say this because he only needs 7. I'm going to say that he's not going to get all 67.5 rushing and receiving yards combined. He will get his 7, but I'm going to go with the under on this one. So, because that's a lot of yards with Chuba Hubbard and Chuba Hubbard, and the other tools, the receiving core that they have, and so I think they're going to really split the scheme. The offensive scheme is going to be, I think, a balance, and so and with the kind of quarter or running back by committee, I'm still going with the under on the 76, but he will get his millie. Might get his quarter milli too, Brian. I don't know.
You never know.
Anyway, what do you have?
So I stuck with the Bears, and I'm gonna kind of go with a don't do what I say type of thing. But with Caleb Williams, as I discussed earlier, he's 270 yards away from 4,000. He's 103 away from just having the regular Bears record, and I think they're going to let him go for it.
Yep,
And
for sure.
the prop on here was 237 and a half. That's pretty low. So I think that Ryan McDaniel, is going to would take the over on that. But potentially, you guys all might want to think, I might go the under because I think that the Bears are going to get up. I don't know that they're going to leave Caleb in there to get hurt. It's entirely possible that he is out of the game. That we see Tyson Bagent in there. So I'm going to take the
Oh, good
over
guy.
on that. I'm going to take the over on that, and I leave it up to everyone else to decide how long they think Caleb is going to play. And then I actually see. I love who's going to be the next Kurt Warner. Who's going to be the next quarterback that wasn't supposed to be anything, got an opportunity, and rode it all the way to the Hall of Fame. Well, the quarterback for Kansas City, since they're uh, Mahomes,
Mahomes.
Patrick,
The ACL. They're both injured.
yep,
Yeah.
and Gardner
Gardner Minshew
Minshew,
both have ACL
they're both
tears.
out.
Yeah.
So Chris Oladukin is the quarterback. His prop is a 133.5. They're playing the Raiders.
Come on,
He's
man.
gonna get a chance to go that. So I would smash the over on this one because my prediction, Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame for this guy whose name I can't
Let's
pronounce right.
let's bookmark this
Yeah,
podcast and
yeah.
see if McDaniel's
Bold
is right.
prediction. Bold
So
prediction.
I did on the Twitter, there are plenty of people that are posting the incentives, so you can search on there, but I'm just pulling some from some of those posting. For folks, if you really kind of want to look at any of the prop bets, I would say, like, again, it's a game of skill trying to figure this out, these predictive markets. But Christian McCaffrey needs four receptions away from uh, 100 reception year, and that's a big deal. So he's going to get fed the ball. Uh, the running back for Cincinnati, Chase, is 53 yards. He needs 53 yards rushing to be able to get his incentive. Knox has a bunch of low level accomplishments to not accomplishments, but goals. I'll put it to get some of his bonuses. And then Diggs needs just 30 yards, and he gets a payday along with Devonta Smith. And Justin Jefferson needs 53 yards to get his 1,000 yard um, goal. And so I think they'll feed him, try to. And I don't know. I don't know. We
Well,
don't know who's starting for the Vikings. McCarthy, I don't, or Brosmer. I don't know.
yeah. Well, and you mentioned Diggs. Diggs is going to need that incentive to pay his attorneys because
Oof.
he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Allegedly. Okay.
allegedly. What's kind of funny though, is like on TikTok and other platforms where the kids hang out. They will sometimes go into locker rooms and they'll ask people, who on the team would you not want to date your sister? Well, they did that with the Vikings back when Diggs was here, and everybody they talked to said Stephon Diggs, which a little bit of foreshadowing there, but yeah, yeah, he's got
So
some trouble.
so Brian, before we sign off, why don't we tell viewers kind of what the plan is going forward through to the Super Bowl? And
Yeah,
that
so
is
we
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, so we have been doing taping these shows on Mondays at 10 and kind of doing more of a recap. I think what we're gonna do going forward is go to Fridays and talk more about the games that are upcoming. And
Mhm.
then the next Friday, we'll obviously let everybody know what happened before that.
Yeah, yeah, and I just think it's a way to stay engaged, throughout the playoffs, and of course we'll have our prop plays and our amazing sponsor and Gabe, who we always have to thank for
Yeah.
producing. But I'm pumped. I'm excited. Not that football season is nearly coming to an end, but playoff football is a different level of football,
Mhm.
and so for the sport, it's good the stretch we're coming into here.
All right. Well, so we look forward to seeing you guys on Fridays for the next couple of weeks. And with that, hopefully I am feeling good, better, best pretty soon. But I'm looking forward to the games this weekend. Brian McDaniel.
And I'm still going to just keep saying, I think 2026 is the Vikings year. Vikings fan Carla Bigham. And
And we
we
are
are wrong
wrong
about
about
sports.
sports. Happy New Year, everybody.
MBC. No relation to NBC.